Hello all and welcome to Tuesday Q&A. I am your host, Roland. My expert today, Ursinity.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
I am feeling effervescent.
Wow.
Here's where everybody hits define : space effervescent.
I know what effervescent means. You're glowing.
Yeah, exactly.
You're glowing.
Mostly because of the terrible lighting in my room, but like just in general, I'm having a good day.
Good.
Things are all right.
Good. Why are you having a great day?
My bosses weren't at work, so I got to relax and not have headphones on. I ate good food. Nothing too exciting. It's just like a good day. I'm reading good books. Things are fun.
The True Blood books?
The Sookie Stackhouse novels. Excuse me.
The True Blood books.
Yeah, they're really good. I read 6 in the last week. They're not super long. They're only like a few hundred pages.
Your vocabulary must be filled with all sorts of sexual slang.
Yeah, that's you're not wrong.
No, I know.
There's not that much in the books, honestly. They're fun. They're just like they're just a good time. They're simple. There was a word that was in it that like just made my day when I read the other day, and I can't remember what it was.
Lackadaisical?
No, lackadaisical. It's not one.
Boring.
Quixotic. Quixotic's a really good word.
What is the definition of quixotic?
So quixotic. God, now this one is words that like I use once a year. Let's see. Let's define it.
Oh man, if you have to go to Google, you don't know that word. You just know how to say it.
There's all kinds of words that like you know how to use but don't know how to explain. Like effervescent, I would have a hard time describing, but I can use easily. Quixotic, exceedingly idealistic, unrealistic, and impractical.
Exceedingly idealistic and unpractical, basically.
Its origin, to make a callback to the pre-show, is from Don Quixote.
Wow.
The Lord of La Mancha.
A very old book. What isn't it the second selling book in the world, like next to the Bible?
I don't think so. I would imagine
I'm pretty sure it
is the second most popular book.
Pretty sure Denny could hop on the microphone right now and confirm that Don Quixote is the second best-selling book ever.
Great music to Don Quixote.
I've never read it.
I've never read it. I've sang the music though. I was in chorus for almost all of high school, but then Yeah. Okay. No. So here's the thing. I was like a pretty good singer and like a strong tenor.
I bet you're
But then I hit puberty and I like grew into being tone deaf. And also I was like the only tenor because I went to a smaller school, and it sucked being like the only dude in an entire section. Because like all the way that like the room was set up, the tenors were like on the far right and the baritones were on the far left.
Fact check for you.
Yeah.
So the Guinness Book of World Records does estimate that the Bible is the best-selling book of all time with over 5 billion copies sold and distributed. However, the quotations from Chairman Mao, also known as the Little Red Book, has produced a wide array of sales and distribution figures, with some sources claiming over 6.5 billion printed volumes, others claiming the distribution ran into the billions, and others citing over a billion official volumes between 1966 and 1969 alone.
What about Don Quixote?
Don Quixote is the best of modern books sold, modern being not ancient like the Bible, with over 100 million copies sold, estimating approximately 500 million copies since it was first published in 1612.
I mean, Mao is pretty modern. Like, Don Quixote is older than Mao.
Are you going to argue with Guinness Book of World Records, dude?
My dad's in the Guinness Book of World Records, actually.
For birthing the littlest child.
Actually, okay, so it's actually at the top. No. Excuse me, that's at the list of best-selling single-volume books. It depends on how we're,
I can't believe you guys are not going to make me expand upon me saying my dad's in the Guinness Book of World Records.
That's all right. We already know why.
I assume like shortest man or shortest child.
That's what I already said. Come on.
My dad's like 6'4". People used to think I was adopted. The
tallest dad to shortest kid.
No, he was in on a technicality because he took the photograph that was used of 206 Thurman Munson, which is the most expensive baseball card ever sold. And so he was in the book like by name, even though he did not actually hold a title.
All right, before we lose any more listeners, welcome to DotP Q&A. This is our Tuesday Q&A. We answer questions from the public, community around Dota 2. More specifically, our community, Defense of the Patients, a community that we are proud to be a part of. And are you proud to be a part of it, Ursi, before we move on? Or are you one of those posers?
I'm Ursi. I'm decidedly not proud, but I'm pretty happy with our community, yes.
You know, we got another 4-star review today, but it hasn't populated yet on what it says. Yeah. We got another 4-star.
It's for me.
Is it?
I made a new one. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that.
I was like,
are you kidding?
Fucked. No, I can't. I really can't wait to read it, though. I really can't.
Oh, me too. I'm excited. Yeah, we haven't had any read on this show yet, which is woeful.
We kind of already do the whole community thing on this show. You know what I mean?
I guess so. We don't read any on Thursday either.
Well, you guys could. Usually we read them on Friday and Monday. I don't know. If it has something to do with Proud, we'll read it on Friday. And if it has something to do with anybody else, we'll read it on Monday.
Okay.
Anyway, let's go ahead and take a live caller real quick. Do you have anything else to say?
I mean, I hope I have things to say over the course of the next hour, but as of right now, I don't have anything to say.
Useless things to say. Do you have any more of those?
Useless?
Let's just get those right out of the way.
No, nothing's coming to mind.
Perfect. All right, so we are going to go ahead and take a call from Wivrix, I believe. Although we may not be able to immediately. So first and foremost, I am going to actually read an email question, and then we'll get into a live caller question. We'll read, it's from Princess Tamer. Okay. And this is something I think that we both deal with. I especially deal with it a lot. I know you've talked about it before.
That's such a lie. You don't deal with this? Or at least it doesn't seem like it. You play so much. Anyway, read the question.
I do have it. Any tips on dealing with ladder anxiety? I'm in the boat where I calibrated as early as I could back in Source 1, giving me a nice 900 MMR. But after playing unranked for 2 years, I've worked my way up to being matched with people anywhere between 3 and 4K. For a short period, I would play solo ranked and try to prove myself in a way, and went very quickly up to 2K where I currently am. Mm-hmm. So basically, tips on dealing with ladder anxiety.
The best advice that I ever read regarding ladder anxiety was on some dumb Reddit thread where somebody just said, you know, you only have anxiety for like individual games, but once you've lost 1,000 games, that anxiety goes away. So I think the very simplest thing is just to confront it and just play a lot. Mm-hmm. That's honestly something I don't put into practice. I did at one point when I was like, when I seriously climb, I have that approach and I don't worry about it. But in periods like now where like I play like a couple of games a week or something, and because I just like playing casual games, I do get a lot of ladder anxiety. That's kind of always really dragged me. So I would definitely say that, like, just force yourself to play. That's really what you have to do.
I'd agree.
But even that's not a catch-all. Like, that's why I didn't play StarCraft. I had terrible ladder anxiety in StarCraft.
Really? StarCraft was just so quick, though. I mean, I can understand that to a certain degree because the intel is so important and cheese was so prevalent in lower, like in bronze, silver, gold. There wasn't a game you weren't getting cheesed. And cheese in StarCraft, much different than cheese in Dota 2. Cheese in StarCraft was just straight up like exploit and just never really got patched. You just had to figure out ways to beat it. Dota 2, usually cheese gets patched pretty quickly, or people also figure out a way to deal with it. Yeah. So my ladder anxiety comes when I'm like 3676. Or something like that. Yeah. And it's like, oh God, if I win, I'm going to be 3,700. Or my 3777 game that got me to like 3802 or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
That was, then when I'm at 3802, I once again have ladder anxiety. But then if I win, I'm fine. If I lose, back to ladder anxiety. But if I win, then I'm 3826. I'm like, okay, I have a game leeway. So yeah, I'm always stuck in this, like, I don't want to drop back to 35. So when I get in those like games where I'm at like 3,600 even, scary.
I envy Proud because he doesn't like he just only plays ranked ever, and he fluctuates so heavily because that's just all he does. So he's not pressed if it's like, oh, like he dropped below 5K the other day and by like 3 games or something, but then he just made it back up because he just plays a lot and he only plays ranked. Yeah, I obviously have the complete opposite approach. And so like I'm at 50-17, I think 50-16.
You're 50-17, Proud's 50-18.
Yeah, exactly.
Or hey, at one point you were higher than him. At one point you were higher than him when he dropped below 5K.
Yeah, well, also when I hit 5K first. But there have been...
Did you? I thought it was proud to hit 5K first.
No. Oh my god, I can't believe you're trolling me or not. You have this weird camaraderie with him because of the Friday show, and I can't tell.
It's not camaraderie. It's just totally just, I don't know, poking fun at you.
Yeah. But yeah, so like I have the exact same or a similar problem now because it's like if I lose a game, I'm below 5K, and if I win a game, then like I don't have to worry about it anymore. Like when I hit 50-50 or 50-40, whatever I did, I was like, it was great. I just played another game instantly, and I was like, and I lost it, and I was like, whatever. Because that doesn't bring me above or below breakpoint. So
yeah, the breakpoints are what's scary. But like Ursi said, get used to losing because it fucking happens all the time. Even, I mean, my Viper, I had a 100% win rate for a long time, and not anymore. And that hurt initially, but not anymore. Anyway, Wivrix, he is 3,546 MMR points, matchmaking record points. Sir Wivrix, what is thine question?
Hello, gentlemen. This question is aimed more for Cyphus and Roland, but Ursi, you can weigh in as well. So, while my wife, Broken Wings, was learning to play, there were
Which, by the way, congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Wivrix and Broken Wings for a very long time were not married. They were engaged. And, yeah, congratulations on the marriage. But sorry, go ahead and ask your question.
That is how engagements work.
While we're interrupting things, today's my birthday as well.
Whoa.
Oh, boy.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
How old are you? 21?
29.
No, you're a young soul.
I am. I'm 12 years old at heart, so.
Oh, you do like poop jokes. Okay, what's the question, Wivrix?
The question is, okay, so while Broken Wings was learning to play, there were, some shouting matches, hurt feelings. It's really, really hard to convey criticism in a tactful way while you're in the middle of a Dota game. So now the Cobb, my brother, his girlfriend is also interested in learning to play Dota. As far as I know, Roland, you're not divorced yet. Cyphus is still with Grandma Ralph. So you probably have overcome this. Do you have any tips or advice or things that you can say on playing Dota with a significant other or even just a close friend that you have a good relationship with, teaching them the game and then not needing to have a relationship counselor on standby, just not ruining that friendship?
Okay, I want to defer this question completely to Denny. We're going to need to wait about 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Denny will be coming on shortly.
This is riveting.
No, this question is for Denny because I actually have a great relationship with my significant other.
I'm here.
But Denny definitely has an issue with this. Go ahead and give Wivrix some advice on how you deal with playing with your significant other, sir.
So I have to be really careful because she's listening to me answer this question live on the air. So I would say you got to be prepared to fight, and you might as well just go ahead and test your relationship because that's what this is. It is a test of your relationship. Rin and I fight every time we play Dota together, and I'm a mean bastard, and she still stays with me. So I feel like more than anything, it's a proving ground for the strength of your relationship. But in all seriousness, you should, I have to remind myself, and she's really good at helping me remind myself. You got to try to be relaxed. You got to chill out. I think this last game, she and I played right before the show. I didn't really respond very well to us having a miserable lane and the rest of the team having miserable lanes. And she reached over at one point and grabbed my hand, and she was like, "It's okay. It's going to be fine."
Wow.
And I was like, "Okay, yeah, you're right."
Here,
like,
take these pills.
Cyphus, that's a keeper.
Yeah, dude, serious. She puts up with a lot of shit, is all I'm going to say. Like, when I play with Rin, I know she's new, so I buy a lot of salves and I buy a lot of clarities. Just so in case she's low health, I just pop her with a salve and she has no idea what happened. And all of a sudden she's full health. Denny, on the other hand, is like, "You're low health. Go back to Fountain." She's like, "Why would I go back to Fountain? I'm going to lose experience." And then a fucking argument, bam, 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 breaks out. And we're on stream. I have to mute the stream and be like, "Denny, come on, dude." Anyway,
I don't think so. I don't think
that
it's ever
happened
been that
once.
bad.
You can confirm.
No bullshit.
That happened
but
once.
unnecessarily because you two are ganging up on me. I'm not just playing with one girlfriend when I play with her and you. I'm playing with two girlfriends.
He wanted me to denounce somebody on the team, and I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
No.
Denounce.
Yeah, he
Cyphus Ursi, you guys can weigh on in this. Does Roland not fight because his wife just wears the pants and he just won't argue?
She wears the underwear, the pants. She wears. She
It'd be nice. It'd be nice if he had like one testicle. Like, if she just let him borrow one, you know?
That's rude. I'm fine with it. I mean, it's keeping them safe, you know, wherever she keeps them. No, yeah, I don't have a say in anything. But at least I can go get my hair cut without having my my significant other around, eh, Denny?
God, dude, how did this get into like relationship counseling?
Look,
this is such a blank question.
The legitimate advice is try not to take it too seriously, and I'm somebody who should take my own advice in that regard and play normal.
Are you eating your own words? And how do 100%. They taste?
They taste bitter in my mouth.
Good. Bitter in your mouth.
That's right. All right, I'm out.
All right, yeah, okay. Yeah, I would say that definitely what Denny said. It's when playing with Audrey's louder than me and more vulgar than I am, so it was really fun to play with her because she'd like frostbite somebody and be like, "That bitch just got frostbit. What's up, bitch?" And like, and that's how she played. And so it was really easy to play with her because most of the time I was just laughing at her enthusiasm and her I don't know, she was really self-centered and narcissistic when she'd play Dota. Everything that she did was perfect. And if I'd be like, "Oh no, you shouldn't be in the jungle. Oh no, you shouldn't be doing that. Shut up, bitch. I know what I'm doing." And that's what I got. So it didn't hurt our relationship. I mean, I still harbor some resentment toward her, but no resentment toward me, definitely. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Ursi, can you even answer this question?
No, I've taught real life friends, but never a significant other.
All right, let's hear.
Dota.
I'm just joking. Let's hear a real life friend. Sorry.
I don't play with any of them anymore. that's
what are the specifics?
I play with a couple.
What are the specifics there?
I play with a couple people that are my real life friends that play Dota, but very few. It's
what
very
happened?
hard to balance.
What happened?
What do you mean? What happened? Like they just.
Why?
Okay, well, because like I'm. There's always an issue if like you're playing even unranked where if you're trying to teach new people, it will balance you and bring them up to a level that is really unfair, even in unranked. So like if I'm in very high and they're in normal, it'll average us into high skill and they're going to be completely out of the water. So honestly, it's not a productive experience. But I would say definitely the one thing that I do all the time that is really counterproductive, and I kind of know that it's counterproductive, so I try not to do it, is don't say things immediately in the retrospective. So if they don't do something, don't say like, "Oh, well, you should have done X," because that moment's already over. That's something to talk about after the game, or be like, "Hey, in this situation, like, X and Y are good to do," or like pay attention for, this. So don't just like, it's very like, it's a good impulse, or it's a natural impulse for you as the person that's teaching them to be like, "Oh, you did this wrong," but that's not going to make them enjoy the game. It's not going to make them have fun. So don't do that. I do that all the time, and honestly, it's a really bad impulse. It's really not good. I agree.
Wivrix, what about you and Broken Wings? Give us one of the bigger fights revolving around Dota. I want to hear a specific.
This was I was playing a position 1 and she was playing the position 5.
Oof.
I can't remember what I was doing. I went to go take a camp or something like that, and I look over and she's sitting there as she's a Crystal Maiden, and the enemy wave is there, and it's just one auto attack, 2 auto attacks, 3 auto attacks, 4 auto attacks, and like we've already had fights before this, so I'm trying different ways of, like giving her feedback, that because she always says it's not what you say, it's how you say, and I'm trying very hard to like try different ways, and I asked her, "Baby, do you know what you're doing wrong right now?" And then she just got really defensive about it, and I was like, "Well, that pushes the wave," and then she was arguing like, "I didn't even kill it. It's the wave's not gonna push. Oh, it's gonna push. Yeah."
Yeah.
And I was like, "But the AP, and it'll die, and there's no," and then everyone in Discord is just laughing. Jay Gucci shouting, "I hate when mommy and daddy fight."
Yeah, boy, the wording on that, like right from the get-go, is not gonna lead to any productive conversation, I'll be honest.
Well, I mean, that was my 10th iteration of different ways of phrasing. Like, but I think I can sum it up like this. Surprisingly, not surprisingly, but shame on you guys with significant others. Ursi gave the best advice, I think. Don't do it in the moment. Don't do it in the moment. You're in the middle of a game of Dota. Do it for after. You know, nothing can be fixed by pointing it out right then and there. But as Cyphus said, don't take it seriously. As Roland does, just back down, have no spine.
Why would I have a spine? Why would I have a spine? It doesn't give me anything. You know. And
Ursi's original point was just don't have friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or significant.
Or have friends and don't play Dota with them. Honestly, like it's so taxing. Like just do other things.
Indeed. Wivrix, always a blast to have you on. Always fun to talk to you. I appreciate your energy. And God damn it, your OG-ness, sir. You've been around since the dawn of time, and I can't believe you're turning 29. Happy birthday.
Thank you, sirs. Have a good night.
You as well, sir. Yeah, that's a tough one. Is it such a big deal that I let my wife run my life? You know what I mean?
I'm jealous. It sounds great. It sounds nice and easy.
Laundry's done. Everything's done. I get yelled at a lot, but I just back down, you know, just go into fetal position. It's mama grizzly bear, you know what I mean? I'm not going to mess with that. So
I feel you. I mean, also, like, you play Dota, and like I always say, Dota players are inherently masochists. So, like, it works into it.
Okay. Yeah, no, but they are and she's ordering a computer and she's getting over the whole, you know, the traumatic experience of having a child and going through the emotional ups and downs, and so she's starting to level out a little bit and feel a little bit better, and it's starting to get easier to have a new child, and she wants to get back into Dota, and so we'll definitely do a stream with Evanwood or Audrey. She likes to go by Evanwood. It's one of her D&D character names. And it is a hoot to play with her because she definitely appreciates the ground that she walks on. And she thinks that I'm just good at games. And although she does some really cool stuff, her CM ults were always pretty good. She's new still.
Yeah, that's a mentality that is fun to play with, but also very detrimental to actually learning and improving.
Yeah,
but, you know,
super detrimental, but it's a hoot. Okay, our next question is from Motar. He is a 2861 MMR points player. Motar, hello, what's your question?
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, perfect. First time, long time. 5'11", 170.
Nice.
Perfect.
So, I'm just weighing in, guys. Come on. So my question has to deal with movies and specific actor and Jake Gyllenhaal.
Okay.
I hope you guys are familiar.
I am.
All right, perfect. So hopefully you'll get this.
Before we move on from before we move on to the question, that movie that Jake Gyllenhaal was in about the kidnapped people in the basement and he's the cop.
Prisoners.
What's it called?
Prisoners. That
was a fucking excellent. That's my favorite Jake Gyllenhaal movie I've ever seen.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll get a nice little conversation about this.
Okay.
What do you guys consider Jake Gyllenhaal's best overall role? Not movie, but role. Seeing as he's played such diverse roles, and it's been quite good in like several of them. Going back from Donnie Darko, Brokeback Mountain, we have Southpaw recently, as well as Nightcrawler.
Oh, Nightcrawler.
End of Watch, Jarhead, Love and Other Drugs, a little bit on the softer side. Zodiac, Nocturnal Animals. Yeah, so as a diverse actor that's had so many
Prisoners,
good roles.
Prisoners as well. I wish I wouldn't have jumped the gun on gum. I wish I wouldn't have jumped the gun on that. Wish I wouldn't have jumped the gun on that. I've seen most of the films you've mentioned. I've seen Nightcrawler. I've seen Donnie Darko. I think Donnie Darko is more of a cult classic. I don't like the movie personally. I watched it when I was like 15 in my angsty phase and was like, this is my favorite movie. And then watched it recently as an adult and was like, nah, this is not for me. It's just a little too weird, a little bit too off the wall. So I would definitely say, and he's younger in that. He's like a teenager he may not be a teenager in real life, but I think he plays a teenager in Donnie Darko. In Zodiac, I just feel like it was cool to follow the Zodiac killer. It's about the serial killer. But I don't really feel like that was a very compelling movie. I feel like it was actually semi-poorly done. But Jake Gyllenhaal was definitely the best thing in that movie, I will say. Usually when I think of Jake Gyllenhaal, though, until Prisoners, I thought of shitty movies. If I'm not going to lie to you, Motar.
Well, he did make the what is it, Prince of Persia film.
So. Oh yeah, Prince of Persia.
That's my answer.
You are not wrong.
So every time I thought of Jake Gyllenhaal, I was like, oh yeah, that shitty actor. And then I watched Prisoners with there's another big name actor in it that I really
Wolverine.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman. And it's his daughter that's taken. Anyway, the movie's excellent. He plays an awesome detective in Prisoners, and that is by far my favorite role.
He does have the most compelling haircut out of all his roles.
Most compelling haircut. And I like how it's semi. God, who is the Cthulhu-y is what I'm going to call it, because I can't think of the author of Cthulhu. H.P. Lovecrafty is how Prisoners felt with the weird symbols everywhere in the movie. It's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, I would say that's his best role. Ursi?
Gosh, I don't really watch movies ever. Honestly, the only movies I've seen with him in it are Donnie Darko. Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal in it. Mm-hmm. I've seen Donnie Darko. I'm also could care less about that film.
Couldn't care less.
No, I could care less. Couldn't care less is the opposite.
You could not care any less. So there are movies that you could care less about.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, thank you.
But I mean, I care a little. It's one of those movies that kind of like Doctor Who that I dislike just because of like the cultural use of it and like how into it people are. Like Doctor Who was ruined for me because of Whovians. Like they're just an incredibly annoying fandom at large. And so that kind of same thing with like Donnie Darko. Every edgy high schooler, it's like, oh man, I love Donnie Darko. So that's off the list. Bubble Boy I liked as a kid, so maybe that'll be my answer. But honestly, those are like the only two movies I've seen. And Zodiac, that was good.
He's also made I believe it was a Source Code, Accidental Love. Actually, this is a really good one. It's kind of like it really kind of like makes you think, and you have to like pay close attention. It's called Enemy, and it's definitely worth the watch. And it's just like a movie that I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's bad. I don't know if he's dumb for taking that like role, or just a genius.
Are you calling us because you want your love for Jake Gyllenhaal validated, or are you just? Oh,
yes, because I really want to know. Like,
is he your favorite actor?
It's kind of hard.
He's your favorite actor, Motar. Let's be honest. He's your favorite actor.
No, Ryan Gosling is, because he's in my favorite movie, Drive.
He's in La La Land too. That was fun.
La La Land is great.
I just like the soundtrack. Honestly, I haven't even seen the movie.
It's a musical.
Yeah, musicals are great.
Yeah, I asked Jake Gyllenhaal just because kind of like looking at all his roles, and I was like, there's a lot going for him like on these roles, and I don't know if the default was Nightcrawler, that like sociopath like that he became in that film, and like I believe in an interview he said that he wanted to be like a starving what is it, newscatcher, whatever you want to call him. And he just had this like hungry look about him, and he said when he'd go out on runs at night, he wanted to be like a coyote, just hungry, just trying to like feast for something. And I thought he portrayed that really well. So I wasn't sure if that was the default, because he's been nominated for several Oscars.
Hasn't got one.
Brokeback Mountain.
Hasn't got one yet. No. Well, hey, Motar, I would love to talk about your love interest and your favorite actor a little longer, but we don't have time for it. So thank you for calling in. And definitely Prisoners is his best movie. Brokeback Mountain, definitely a good movie as well. Blot on the list. Thank you for the call, sir. Good day to you.
Have a good one, guys. Thanks for having me.
You as well. Thank you.
Man, I like having non-Dota questions.
Fucking lingerer, man.
He has to be. That's exciting. Man, I don't watch movies. Everybody knows like I'm the K-drama, K-pop guy, but honestly, I watch a ton of TV.
That brought it back to me. Tone deaf and K-pop. You said you grew into tone deafness, and then you all of a sudden liked K-pop. makes
Well, that
perfect
wasn't
sense.
all of a sudden. That was a slow burn. It was a very long chain of events led to that problem of my life.
Yeah. No, I'm just joking, Motar. Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal, actually pretty good actor. Not my favorite. Still would put him in the shit actor box, probably. But if he does another couple like Prisoners, up on the top. Our next caller is Kruger. His MMR, that's not his, it's Kruger. His MMR is 3990. I feel like you could round up. Kruger, sir, what is your question?
Hello there.
Hello.
I just want to start with saying that my favorite movie is The Fifth Element, and I am slightly salty. I'm slightly salty about Mila Jovovich's career after the fact.
Me too. Fifth Element is dope.
Great movie.
I've
watched it like 20 times.
Oh yeah, dude, sci-fi is my Wi-Fi, which connects to my brain that I love.
I've also never seen that movie.
It's a great science fiction.
You should watch that movie or something.
Yeah. It's excellent.
So I have two things. One of them is a question.
Okay.
And the other one is like a more of the discussion topic.
Okay.
So which one would you like first?
The discussion topic.
All right. So 6-role support. It's my favorite role to play, and I have some habits that I would like your opinions on.
Can we first define what a 6-role supporting position is? I don't know.
Sure. I think it's a 5-role support. You know, the one that gets the least farm.
Okay.
But it gets extra little farm. Like a
PPD.
I have a habit of leaving the lane.
Yeah,
I guess. Yes.
Okay, like a PPD 5. Okay. All right. Yeah.
EGM also when he was playing support. But yeah, like a Dazzle or a Lion or something, a Shadow Shaman, a Venomancer that will leave the lane and usually be a sacrificial, less valuable. You're going out to place wards, you're going out of the lane. I have a habit of running around in circles in the jungle if I have a good start of getting the off lane out of the way. I go into the jungle to give my carry more farm. And I'm sacrificing my XP for the carry in that situation, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So little things like that. I'm wondering your opinions about that role specifically.
Okay. I did it for a long time with Lich. This is how I basically climbed like 400 points, I would say. And why I'm sitting at a 70% win rate with Lich is I wouldn't even have boots until 10 minutes. And that wasn't because of past bullshit with me and boots. that is because of sentry wards, observer wards, dust, smoke, windlace, just to get some movement speed, and just making sure that the entire map is warded, because let's be honest, if I pick Lich, no one else is going to buy a support item. So I personally am okay with taking the bullet on it, so long as my carries are like okay with carrying and doing what they're supposed to do. I feel like Lich is one of the best in this position, especially for a pub in 7.01, because Lich has sacrifice, so you don't really sacrifice so much of your experience when leaving your carry to just carry. I definitely love to do the whole Lich thing, and yeah, being poor on Lich doesn't really matter because it's his skills, right? I mean, it's levels for Lich more than it is gold, I would say. Ursi, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Lich honestly isn't really a poverty support, just because he gets like that XP and stuff so naturally. But I mean, I climbed to 5K playing almost exclusively, or I played largely these kind of like poverty 6-position supports. I like it a lot. I mean, my policy approaching Dota has always just been I want my teammates to be comfortable, and if I have 4 core players, I would rather have them playing 4 cores and me playing a 6 than forcing one of them to play a support. I haven't been doing it recently, but in general, I don't mind playing that position, like the classic thing where you get into game by courier, obs, sentry, and smoke, and you have nothing, you have a branch and like a set of tangos. I think it's fine, honestly. I appreciate the role. I don't think it's as good recently, just because I mean, I honestly, I don't think you have to play 6 anymore if you're solo supporting, just because there's so much more farm on the map. And the only really time you get put in that position is when like you're already losing. Nowadays, like, you just get so much AoE gold from like, if you stay alive through one team fight, you're gonna have a ton of gold. Like, that's how I get my items when I play support nowadays. Is just, you don't need to farm lanes, you don't need to do anything. You can just like stay alive through a fight, and you're gonna have like 1,500 gold, 2,000 gold, whatever, in the mid game, of course.
You're right.
So yeah.
Would you say that it's still possible to play 6 role, but it has become easier to play?
Yeah, it's become more like a 5, right? Just because naturally there's just more gold around the map, and you can just do more things. But I do think that like playstyle is totally valid and fine now, and I'm still happy to play it when I'm playing pubs. My go-to heroes also for supporting pubs are all heroes that my policy has always been to pick heroes that can do well without items, but do very well with items, right? So like Rubik is generally my go-to like first pick, or Shadow Demon, right? Because both those heroes, if you have no items, as long as you have boots and like a Windlaze, you're fine. But once you win one fight and you get your Blink Dagger, you get your Armlet, you get whatever on Rubik, then you're fine and like you're doing super well. But in the same vein, you don't need those items. Like Lion needs his Blink Dagger or Force Staff to be doing things, but without that, like, he does a lot less. So I stick to Rubik in that situation, or Shadow Demon, because Shadow Demon and Luna is the stupidest thing in the entire world. But you know,
for sure. Okay, what's your question, Kruger? I know you're on a time crunch.
All right. Yeah, it's not that bad. I'm awake again. So my question is straight up, because I like the support role, and I oftentimes have to first pick it, because people are greedy. Mm-hmm. So which supports should I never ever first pick?
Well, that's a good question.
I was gonna say Shadow Demon is a really bad first pick support, just because. I mean, if you're going for Shadow Demon Luna's gonna get snagged. You know what I mean? And because Luna's a fine first pick.
Yeah, but that's fine. You make an illusion of her illusions, right. And your illusions are better.
You're right,
like that's totally fine.
You're right.
Also, you should be banning Luna in games, and if he's not banned, you say, "Hey, first pick Luna," and then you pick Shadow Demon. Yeah. But the Shadow Demon's fine, honestly. Yeah, Storm Spirit's pretty annoying. Mm-hmm. Let's see. As far as like 5s that I don't like to pick first. Excuse me. Winter Wyvern's probably my number 1 on that list. I love Winter Wyvern, and I feel as though I'm quite good at Winter Wyvern, but first picking Winter Wyvern is like a recipe to just have a terrible game, because they're just not going to pick melee heroes, they're not going to pick physical damage, and you're going to be neutered, and it's going to suck. So that's probably top of my list, I would say.
That's an super interesting question, because I feel like you could pick any 5 first. I don't know. Rubik, I would say, is kind of a tough first pick 5, because I guess, but really it doesn't matter what they pick. You're going to get a good spell out of 5 heroes. So that's tough. I'm going to definitely just shut up now, because I have no idea.
Yeah, I think Lena's up there also. Like, Lena, if you don't have a setup stun, even if you're good with Lena, she's pretty easy to just like have a miserable time on.
But then the other thing with Lena is that you can play mid, right?
Well, I assume if you have this mentality, you're not going to be going mid. Like, so infrequently in pubs, or it's like, I guess someone's like mid. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. That's one of the things why, like, we used to first to Lena back when she was viable, because people would be like, I don't know if it's a support or a core. But yeah, I think 5s in general are fairly interchangeable, but it really is like, God, what hero did I bring up first? I realize Winter Wyvern, that's like the one that I noticed the most that I don't have a great time on. Ancient Apparition also not great to like first pick real early.
What about Silencer?
Oh,
Silencer is just really good right now.
Silencer gets wrecked by Abaddon, though. I will say that. Holy, that is very true.
But at the same time, like I think Silencer's pretty good just in general now. It's really, you don't want to be first picking heroes that have clear counters or deal with specific things, right? And like Winter Wyvern, she deals with something specific, and that's why you pick her. So first picking her means they're not going to pick into the stuff that you counter. Therefore, your usefulness is mitigated by a good margin.
Yeah, this is a tough one. That's a good question. The tough questions are the good questions. Kruger?
I wanted to put you guys on the spot.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I'm like Shadow Shaman, but it's like, not really. I mean, I guess they could pick a bunch of ranged and take out your
lords.
lords.
I like Venomancer first pick, and I first pick Lion and Witch Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Witch Doctor is real good.
It's just something I don't think about often, where there's like 5 support that you can't pick first. I don't know. Anyway, Kruger, thank you so much for calling in and baffling. I'm gonna probably think about this for sure.
Awesome.
All right. Appreciate it, sir.
All right.
Yeah, that's a tough one, dude.
Yeah, that's a hard question. I think 5s are generally designed around
to just be picked. Yeah.
CM is also a good example. Yeah, somebody's bringing that up. CM also kind of sucks the first pick, but most of it's not that bad to first pick a CM.
Yeah, I mean, Bane is fine. I don't know. Okay, moving on to our next caller. It is Broken Wings. We have spoken to her husband already. She apparently wanted to call in today as well. Broken Wings is a 2010 MMR player. Broken Wings, what's your question?
Hi guys.
Hi.
First, I just want to say that one of Wiv and I's solution to his earlier question is we just don't lane together.
Yeah, that's good.
We're totally good as long as we don't lane together because it was just causing too many arguments. My question is also kind of related to him because if you've ever played with Wiv on a Saturday night, or as I've heard about Ursi, I think it was during TI6 against Roland Mid. What is your view on drunk Dotaing? Because sometimes it's hilarious.
Yes.
Sometimes it's absolutely great.
It is.
And sometimes you're playing with a random you're playing you solo queued and you have the drunkest player ever and he can't even click to save his life. He can't do anything. Yeah. Please talk to me about drunk Dota.
First and foremost, don't drunk in Dota, okay? Especially if you want to be serious about it. Denny and I have put out public service announcement after public service announcement. Don't drunk in Dota. If you feel like you can drive a car and be drunk, you definitely can't play Dota and be drunk, okay? No way. One drink is too many drinks for Dota, okay? In my opinion. I feel a loss in my movement. I feel like my DPI feels all goofy when I drink. Just don't do it. But if you're gonna do it, it is awesome to beat the person that did it.
Boy, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't know anything about this. I've never drank alcohol in my entire life. Next question.
No, you're not going to get off that easy, my friend.
I try not to play Dota while drunk. I've learned my lesson, that's for sure. I think
how did you learn your lesson? Why did you learn your lesson? What happened?
When I was a much younger, immature man in my
23s?
In my 21s, I may or may not have 1v1 another show host and lost.
You weren't 21.
I was 21.
What?
I'm 22 now.
What?
Actually, no, I had just turned 22. Yeah, I had just turned 22.
Old now.
Me too. Fuck. You've got a big future ahead of you, bud.
I hope so.
We'll
see.
You're gonna go places. You know that?
Now I'm like off my train of thought. But yeah, don't play drunk Dota. It's not a good idea. Like, play other games or like watch TV or like. I like there's just so many activities that don't require such cerebral, like, constant decision making and all that. If you do it in a 5-stack, and then like you guys can have a good time even if you're losing. But if you're doing it in solo, like, don't. It's not a good idea. Like,
it's not fair for the other people. Like you said, when you're completely sober and you're a little grouchy, and then it's like, hey guys, I just got back from the bar. I'm really a 3.5K player, and it's like, oh fuck, here we go.
Yeah. The other thing about it too is that I've found that it's really hard to get drunk while playing because it just requires so much focus and like activity that like it like really sullies the ability to like actually get drunk. I found that through various forms of research.
I'd agree. I like to go to this sushi spot near me, and I definitely order some drinks when I'm there. It's my like drinking time. It's my drinking hole, and then I come back and try and play Dota, and it's a disaster. for sure.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Well, you see, for right around Christmas, I walked into Walgreens, and I don't know if you guys have ever seen one of those wine glasses that holds an entire bottle of wine.
Yes.
I thought it'd be hilarious to buy it. And that week, Greg drank 2 of those glasses in one night. And right now, he's currently drinking from it right now. And I know he's going to continue to play Dota after this. And I don't know if it's going to be hilarious. Because, and I'm sorry to do this, sweetheart, but that night he had the 2 glasses. He did kind of poop himself.
I don't think he's embarrassed about that. We talked about that on the show before. It's all right. Yeah, I think he's fine.
I now know who I'm not playing Dota with after this recording. I've learned that lesson too many times.
That's funny. Well, hey, happy marriage thing. I said that to your husband. I'm going to say that to you. Congratulations, and thank you for your call. I'm glad it wasn't pointed at anybody directly on the show today. Definitely had nothing to do with the 2 people on the show today. It was just a random question, and I appreciate it. So, Broken Wings, thank you so much. Ursi, were you trying to say something, Ursi?
I was just saying, I think we learned a lot about ourselves, about each other.
I think we did. Broken Wings, once again, thanks again.
Thanks, guys.
Again.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. I don't need to say anything that I haven't already said. All right, let's take a couple of email questions. Okay, so this is from someone. Okay, so FIDA. What does, if it's an F and then 2 I's? What would you say that is? FIDA?
Yeah, I'd say FIDA. Or FIDA. I'm not sure. I'm usually pretty good with pronunciations, but I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, FIDA, MMR 2314. A lot has been said about how strong Treant is in 7.01 with its high win rate, and I'm trying to learn how to play it in solo queue. Oh my god, whoever's typing right now,
it's not me.
Get it, FIDA? You are a FIDA, Roland. Denny's typing right now. It makes it really hard to keep my track on where I'm reading. Oh, you asshole.
I can read it.
Okay, go ahead, because it's fucking with me. I have like 10 screens in front of me. Screens everywhere filled with things.
Okay, he's trying to learn how to play Treant in solo queue. Some games it feels like it's the wrong pick as you are disadvantaging your team with a hero that is always trying to hide. Other games, when you have a lot of heroes like PA and Weaver trying to engage, it seems like a great pick to just monitor the minimap and put living armor on them and or towers, etc. How do you decide which games where Treant would be a great pick?
Any game.
Yeah, honestly, I think he's just really well-rounded.
Anyone.
He can play as 3, 4, and 5. He works in aggro duos. You can just zone by the fact that like you're invis and you're gonna have to bap people, or you don't have to, but you're gonna bap people for like 100 damage at level 1 and stun. The hero's just good. He definitely has weaknesses. Like if they're just barreling down your towers with like some Luna TA Jakiro strat or something, that's gonna be an issue. But in general, I think he's just like, there are a few situations where he's like actually a bad pick. There's always going to be times where like you wish you had played a different hero, but I don't think Treant's ever like, or very rarely is he just like a straightforward bad hero. So also like if you're trying to learn a hero, just picking it into stuff that's good against it is like a good way to get better at it and like adjust. So I wouldn't stray away from picking it. Like Tree's just good,
especially if you want to learn it and at any, like, I don't know, just pick it every time first. Like, just pick it and go anywhere, and you'll have a great time.
Yeah, he could just do a lot. I would say the only things to look out for would really be that that kind of like super death ball strat where your incremental healing of towers is not super useful. But other than that, like honestly, he's fine. And like you could do it in so many different positions. And like here's probably the most important advice. The thing I see a lot of people learning Treant Protector or Riki doing that's really counterproductive is if they start sentrying your lane or like carrying dust, just avoid them and don't like get into sentry wars where you're spending 600 gold to stay in one lane. Like if they sentry bottom, if it's one sentry you can play around it, whatever, but if they spend 2 full sentries bottom, just go top, just go mid, go do something else. Then the sentries are gone in 4 minutes and you're fine. Like you don't want to stay somewhere that's actually costing you money unless you really need to be there. So
couldn't agree more. Okay, so our next question is from Kumamizu. His MMR is 1300. Kuma, what is your question?
Hey, you guys. My question's about if you have a favorite interaction with heroes and voice lines, or just hero voices, like between Axe and Treant, or Timber and Treant, that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess I'll go first because I don't have an answer to this question because I use the Korean audio pack. And,
yeah, I noticed that.
And like I understand random words here and there, but in general, I don't know any of the responses. I find it very relaxing. I will say playing in a language that I don't understand, because like I get tilted pretty hard. Like that's why I don't use announcers. I get super tilted when like I'd use the P Flax announcer or like the Rick and Morty announcer, and they'd be telling me information I already had. It tilted me so hard, and like I would get mad at like the stupid announcers. So that's why I initially switched to a different language, and I tried out the Chinese one, which was interesting too, and that helped. But I did settle with the Korean pack, and also like the voice acting is very high quality and well done. Like it's just fun. So that's my answer. I don't use any of that crap.
Don't call it crap. One.
I'm sorry. I don't immerse myself deep in the mythos and lore of Dota 2.
Don't call it crap. It's actually, you get a gem every once in a while, and it's hilarious.
That's true. Actually, okay. Here's my answer before this. There's the Undying lines about gummy bears. Those ones are good.
Right. Okay.
Undying has lines about gummy vitamins.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. That's the only English line I can think of.
All right, let's see here. Skywrath, when you predict, is pretty good. From the study, I'd say, come to you with great intent that this one is in the bag, is a great one. Somebody made a shirt of that. It's a black tank top with white lettering, and it just starts out with big font, and it just gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. It's a shirt that I would love to buy my wife. Of course, Viper's Intent is a great one, or Indeed from Viper are all great ones. I love it when two heroes interact with one another. Like Axe will be like, "That's you can't stop me, Dazzle," or something like that. I think it's actually very well crafted. You're not the first person, Ursi, that I've heard that doesn't listen to hero voice lines. Gorgon also said he just turned it off and had no interest in hearing hero voice lines.
Yep.
Don't understand it. It's put in the game, takes a lot of work to do. There are like certain chances to get something. Denny actually has a really good example of this. I'm going to keep talking till Denny pops in, but he found a really funny one recently. Something to do with some hero. Takes Denny about like 10 seconds to hear me. So
well, they're rare lines. Like that's just how it works.
Yeah.
Like that's well established.
It wasn't that funny.
What was it?
It was Monkey King whenever he kills Tiny. He says, yeah, we get it. Your name's ironic and now you're dead.
That's good. That's my favorite one. That's my favorite one.
Somebody brought up bristlebacks. It's in the bag, mate. Go ahead. Or let's see. It's in the bag, mate. Open it up and see if it ain't in there.
It's in the bag. Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah, it's hard to think of them, but oftentimes I find myself laughing at some of the voice lines because they're really good. Or sometimes it just gets me like when Viper's like, "Indeed," and I'm just like, "Yeah, indeed, man," and then we just wreck mid lane, me and him. I really get into it.
No, yeah, really get into it. On that note, I'm gone.
Yeah, see you later. Kuma, what is your favorite voice line?
Well, I have a few, but when Viper says "You failed the acid test," it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to hear.
That's a good one.
But I've been playing a lot of Axe recently.
Okay.
And when he lanes with Treant, he says, "Do not worry, Treant. This axe is not for you." And reassuring him and all that.
Ursi just laughed. I saw it. Ursi laughed.
I laugh frequently, but I have push to talk on, so you just don't hear it. But
Ursi laughed. Why don't you turn him on so you could hear that? Hear just Kuma's two funny ones that he heard.
It was funny. I appreciate that. I appreciate the audio. It's just I've heard it so many times, and it's just annoying repetitions.
No, you haven't. And they're not annoying repetitions, actually.
I played in English for a very long time.
Until you chose to choose a language that you would wish you were. but you don't understand. Have you?
Yeah.
What is your? By the way, last night on stream, I tried to decipher what your on your. I know that it's M-I. I know it's like me, and then there's a J with
Axe is axe.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's
Perfect.
a good one. Yeah, axe is axe. What is it? What is that? I was getting like me.
It's Michin Gay. It means crazy dog.
Oh, okay.
And I'm impressed that you got the me out. Reading Hangul is pretty easy, but I guess you did research.
I just had a quick thing on vowels and consonants pulled up, and I was able to like minjin Gay.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. I thought it meant something along mid player, but I knew it made like a me sound.
No, the symbol for the symbol that's in the second
For J?
character, it's also like CH. Like it's kind of it looks like J, but there's a little line above it, and that makes it into more of like a CH sound.
Yeah, I was looking for the
Michin
line
Gay.
above. I wasn't able to figure out what the line above, because you have the J, which is like looks like a J and then a backward J and a line above it. Anyway, Kuma, thank you for your voice lines. That's fun. Ursi's not fun. He doesn't even understand the shit that you're hearing when he streams. I
understand some of it. It's fun.
No one else understands any of it. It's not fun. And it says
Voice acting is so high quality.
It says English solo Ursi Q, and then you have Korean announcer pack on. Not English.
It's great.
Not
It's
English.
great.
Not English. All right.
People have that information already.
Not English. Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and say nothing against Korea. I would love to live in Seoul, but not English. Kuma, thank you so much, sir.
Oh, 1 second.
Oh,
Ursi,
okay.
does Tusk still do the Tusk? Does he still do that thing with the voice?
Oh,
Probably. I don't play Tusk. Yeah, like
I'd love to hear that.
all the heroes do like they have like similar lines just translated, and they like you. I don't notice the accents as much, but for some of the heroes with like very specific accents or like different like tonations, they still have that. Yeah, I don't play Tusk though, so I don't know off the top of my head. Also, I still have like the audio pretty low. Korean Lena is great. I'll say that. And Korean PA, oh man, it's great.
What?
All about it.
Okay, let's hear an impression then.
I don't even remember the lines.
Oh, you don't need a line. It's in Korean. What does it sound like? Say stifling dagger.
No.
Why?
Move on.
No,
both
me and Kuma just gave our all, and you're just gonna move on.
You guys did great. Yeah, I'm gonna move on.
Wow. All right, Kuma. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Kuma.
I'll be back next week.
Yeah,
I'll prepare something
hopefully
for
we
you.
can get some good content out of this show next week. All right, Kuma. I appreciate it.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, guys.
All right, Ursi, you fucking wet blanket.
Yep.
Our next question is from Mountain Man. His MMR is 2490, rounding it up to 2500. Mountain Man, what is your question, sir?
Hey guys. So my question is actually more about the sort of larger political system here. So
Great.
My question is about Donald Trump's immigration policies and how they might affect the United States' chances of hosting future Dota LAN tournaments, and how that might, given like NA Dota's position within the international scene right now, how that might affect it moving forward.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's in Canada. I'll say that.
Yeah, we talked about this yesterday, and I think we came to the conclusion that because the first major was the Boston major, that TI will probably not be held in the United States of America for very good reasons. But I still wonder if Chinese players are going to have issues getting visas to Canada or any European country. Say it's held in Germany or something like that. I wonder if they're going to have equally as much of an issue getting a visa there. But yeah, no, definitely a big issue. I don't know if you saw the tweets that came out from the manager of EG, Phil, about Sumail.
No.
And had Sumail not been one of... Sumail got lucky, I guess you could say, that he wasn't one of those 7 countries. And yeah, that would have ruined his career. So it's, first and foremost, I'll go ahead and say it's pretty fucked up. What's going on right now, not Dota related, makes me a little bit sick, to be honest with you, because this is not my moral compass. This is not my ethical compass, but it is my leader's chosen moral and ethical compass. What?
The tweet was actually about if Donald Trump's immigration policies had been in place when Sumail's family migrated, they would have destroyed the career.
Yeah, he would have never had a career. Yeah. So it's scary. I mean, it's sad. It's scary. Ursi doesn't like to get into it. Honestly, the worst part about it, I'll say it right now, is that talking about this type of thing is bad for business, which is shitty. Because what it does is it divides people, which it shouldn't. This is not about political party anymore. This is not about Republican or Democrat. This is about just being a good person, in my opinion. And I hate that both CNN and Fox make it about sides. But anyway, pertaining to Dota, it's going to fuck things up.
Since this is bad for business, let me ask a different question then.
Sure, go ahead.
So there, you said that, and I agree, there's probably not going to be a major in the United States, or the international definitely is not going to be in the United States this year. Do you think a serious lull in Dota tournaments in the United States or in North America is going to put a sort of damper on the NA scene?
It'll probably fix it up. In all honesty, I mean, we're talking about a shitty scene.
We'll only be able to play against each other.
No, I don't know. I think it's going to be really. I mean, we're day 10 right now, so who knows? I mean, I think we'll still see EGB powerhouses. I think they'll have no trouble leaving the United States. I don't think it'll affect NA teams going to tournaments, but it definitely will affect everybody else coming here, which that is money that is not going into our markets. So, I mean, as esports grows, the U.S. is going to miss out on it for some stupid stuff, but this is the opinion of Roland and not necessarily the opinion of Defense of the Patients. I'll couch it that way.
Thanks. Oh, go ahead.
No, I mean, if you want to, I have plenty of political opinions that I post on Twitter, but I try to keep it off the podcast. But yeah, I mean, it will. I would be very unsurprised if they put the TI in Vancouver or someplace in Canada that's relatively close and easy to get to, just for convenience sake. It won't make a huge difference to most people, and it will solve those issues, hopefully. But visa issues are just endemic to esports. That's just going to happen. So, we'll see.
It's sad. I think the biggest issues come from China. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, just from what I've seen on our Dota and the little bit of reading I've done, is there are visa meetings that get denied time and time again. Yeah. I don't know if it's because they're trying to travel to the United States or if it's because they're just trying to leave China. So I'm not sure.
Part of it, I think part of it has to do, at least when they're coming to the United States, part of it has to do with the fact that China takes a mirror image policy on immigration status, right? So they treat people coming in and out the same way that the other country treats their citizens. And so the United States immigration policy is pretty rigorous. So the Chinese are very rigorous about people leaving and people coming into China as well.
So it's more of a United States issue with them getting visas to United States than it is.
Yeah, my Australian fans have no problem going into China. They're just woohoo.
Oh, okay, wow, I didn't know. So if you want to go from China to say Germany, seeing as Germany has a lax immigration policy, it would be fairly easy to go from China to Germany.
That is my very rudimentary understanding. I will not say that is absolutely true, but that's my general understanding of. And if someone else knows, put something on the Discord or hit me up on Twitter and correct me.
I would love to know the answer on that. If it is a mirrored policy, because hey, that makes sense at least.
Yeah, well, also the other big thing is there's just Chinese there's just a lot of Chinese players. So naturally, since there's more players coming from China to other places, there's going to be more potential for issues. So
yeah, but really, when you hear of visa issues, it's always coming from China. I mean, at least in my experience, That's a great question. Honestly, a really interesting one. Only time's going to tell. 10 days. Sorry, not time. 10 days is a measurement of time. Has told us
an amount of time.
Has told us a lot so far. So we'll see what happens in another 10, and maybe then another 10 after that. And hold on to your fucking horses.
Don't worry, though. We will still have a Dota podcast in 10 more days, and 10 days after that, 10 days after that. So let's talk about Dota. I myself, a Dota fan, who hosts a Dota podcast.
Yeah,
All right. Message
right.
received. Thanks for entertaining the question, guys.
Hey, thank you, Mountain.
Thank you.
Hey, I can talk about. I'm not against or for anything. This is just what I see and what I read. Listen, okay? It's very, very easy to get wrapped up in the moment on very, very hard issues, okay? Everything is going swimmingly so far in this show. It's been tremendous. So can we take the next caller?
Please.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Our next caller is Chaos. He is a 3401 MMR points player. Chaos, what is your question?
Hey there. So for just a bit of backstory, dun dun dun. I'm a support who's trying to learn to play carry. I'm often playing in stacks where I'm higher skilled than a bunch of the other people I'm playing with. So if I support, it's really going to, generally lead to a loss because you can't do a lot when the enemy cores are simply stronger players than the cores on your team. But my carrying is just atrociously bad. I don't necessarily seek advice on focusing on the fundamentals like last hitting and laning and jungling efficiency because I've kind of worked that out and I think I can lane well enough. But the problem is what happens after laning. How do I know when to flip that switch and go aggressive? How do I act in team fights? I have so little sense for what to do in this. So my balancing for supports is straightforward. I know what to do as a support in a fight. I have no idea what to do as a carry in a fight. So how do I think and play like a carry? Is the short version of that question.
I feel like I should have a boilerplate answer that I could just copy paste on every episode. But really, when it comes to carrying or playing mid or playing any kind of core, the key difference is knowing the power peaks of your hero and when you're going to be good and when you're not going to be good. And playing around that, right? So, and similarly, like if I'm playing OD or I'm playing Sniper, and Sniper's probably a better example. If you're playing Sniper, all right, I'm gonna want to be around on the sidelines of a fight, skirting the enemy, and then getting at them from far away. So you have to basically think, all right, that's how I win a fight. So I need to put myself into that position. And then you kind of just learn to do that, right? Through using Hurricane Pike and thinking hard about the map and stuff like that. Or if you're playing Jug and you realize okay, I just hit 6, I have Omni Slash and I have 3 levels in Blade Fury. I'm just going to go somewhere and get a kill, or I'm going to kill the offlaner or whatever. So that's really honestly the biggest thing I would say is just playing core and learning the power peaks of your hero and how that hero is going to win you the game. I think, especially in a 5 stack, the difference is when you're playing a core, you don't necessarily have to, but you're more. It's good if you set the tone, especially if you're playing with lower skilled players. Just say okay, we're gonna push now. We're gonna make decisive actions and say, all right, I'm playing Luna. I just got my Dom. I have all these items. Let's go down a lane. Let's take tier 2s. Then we're gonna take shrines. Then we're gonna take Roche, and then we're gonna push high ground. And really. Orchestrating everything in your best favor. That's definitely the dynamic difference when you're playing with a stack. When I went from playing support to playing core, although I'd kind of flip-flop, so maybe I'm not the best example, I would say the biggest thing was just learning to be greedier, and that also came with just learning power peaks of heroes. You just gotta play heroes and realize okay, I'm playing Jug. I feel really good at level 6 and level 7, but now I'm level 10 and I only have phase boots and a PMS and a Yasha, and their core is a Sven, he just took a stack, or their core is a Nakes and he just outman fights me. And then you kind of internalize those things, and that's how you kind of get better just in general. Or not in general, I suppose in specific, that's how you get better.
Yeah, I'd agree. I use items to flip on the switch when I'm playing core. For instance, like Ursi said, okay, Morphling, for instance. Okay, I've got Lincoln Boots of Travel. We can take a fight. AM is a pretty classic example of this, where for a long time people said that AM fights right around the time he gets his Manta. I semi-disagree, but AM can do more when he gets his Manta. So being like, hey, I'm an AM, fight's breaking loose, I'm going to join the fray mid because I have a Manta. I can pop in, steal some mana, hit him with a Mana Break, leave. Viper, for instance, I have a mech, let's push towers. It just kind of depends on the core. Spectre, Radiance, move type thing. It increases farm speed, but it also increases... Like, basically, you can tell your team to, hey, move, go out as 4, I have Haunt. So Spectre can continue farming with a Radiance. Fight breaks loose, you Haunt in, you're able to win the fight. And it allows you to still be gobbling up experience and gold. So I would agree that it's more... there are feel situations where you don't have your item completed and it's just the right time to stun as Sven or the right time to do something. But for the most part, I'd say it's item and level oriented more so than it is like a feeling or a situation. I don't know.
So there's not really a general rule for carries. It's very much more a specific thing for individual roles or for individual heroes or for individual item builds that you're going for. Once you've hit a certain level so that you get maybe some talent or some sort of new ability for your hero, or when you complete a major game-changing item, those are the times that you base it around. So
I would say
you play much more cautiously. You know, you're farming, you're not going to try and engage in fights, you're not going to try to really take action until you've hit those particular plateaus in your gradual ascent as a carry.
Yeah, I mean,
watch a pro game, and you'll see.
Yeah, that's fair.
They do this. Like, it's awesome when you, like, notice our TZ picks up, like, Dragonlance on Weaver, and all of a sudden they group, or they smoke, and it's like, there is a very specific reason for things.
So I would say to make a generalized sweeping statement that's more applicable is very simply play greedier. That's like first and foremost. If you're used to playing support, especially if you're used to playing 5, you're just not gonna be playing as greedy. And learn and work on farming rotations and getting the most out of the map. Like those are the 2 main things to focus on that are not necessarily skills that you've honed as a support that you really need to do as a carry if you want to be successful.
I agree. Chaos, did that help?
Yeah, because what I'm just trying to nail is remember I was watching you stream earlier, Roland, and I was complimenting that you had this sort of killer instinct of suddenly realizing, hey, I can do something here, and then you go in and get it. And when I'm playing a carry, I just have very little sense for when it's a smart move to turn on that, that killer urge, that, basically flip the switch between, farming and aggression. And what I'm really trying to do is just calibrate myself so that I can start doing that when I'm playing a core role.
Yeah, it definitely takes time.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you. You probably were watching me play Viper, and that just has to do with I'm looking at their health pool, and if they're below like 3/4, I know that I'm going to do more damage than if they're at full health, and that's when I kick on that, like, I'm going to get a kill. But so Viper is not a perfect example for this because Viper's W just has such a weird play on the opponent's health pool. So it's less about items with Viper and more about where your opponent is positioned and how much health they have. And if you'll notice, I click on them to see their move speed. And that's a big thing. Am I faster than them? And obviously you can't see, but I can say, okay, I have Windlace and I have Treads. They have brown boots. I'm probably faster than them. Plus the slow for my Q. So it's not really killer instinct. It's more just playing a cheesy hero that I know if their health is low, I can probably kill them.
Mm-hmm.
Which may come across as like this, like, whoa, he totally knew that he could get that kill. Yeah, that's because they were out of position. Just like as a support, when somebody's out of position, you would know as a lion to stun them and hex them and whatnot. It's similar, but just kind of a different field, if you will. But Chaos...
All right,
go ahead.
I'll just say I'll keep that all in mind. So basically, keep in mind the power curves, keep in mind exactly what the enemy has, check on the enemy, know when is the time that my hero can take advantage of all the advantages that I've built for myself in terms of items and levels, and see how that goes. And
I would agree. Yeah.
Check back in.
And
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, Ursi and Proud are definitely great resources to utilize as well on that front, because Proud has definitely a killer instinct, and his instinct is usually right. But hey, I appreciate it, Chaos. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, that was our last live caller for the day. That was our last live caller. So we'll answer a couple more email questions, and then we'll do the plugs.
Cool. We can burn through some email questions.
Yes, we can. So this is a write-in from Konozeal. His MMR is 4039. He says this. Ursinity said that he has not built Battle Fury yet in 7.0 because Maelstrom is such a great substitute. Are there any situations that the show host would still build Battle Fury on cores like Jug, like games versus Illusion Heroes or Manta Builders? Is Battle Fury always a poor choice now in the current meta?
Unless you're playing Anti-Mage, yes. Or if you're playing Safe Lane, Ember Spirit, and doing physical, that's also like Battle Fury is still core. But I think in general, Juggernaut specifically, I would not be going Battle Fury anymore.
I think even in 688, Juggernaut was generally frowned upon for a Juggernaut to build a Battle Fury. I mean, I didn't build Battle Fury Jug in 688.
I did not either, but it wasn't like as bad as it is now. Like it was excusable in 688 as like an item. It wasn't bad. Like the thing about Battle Fury is that it gives you plus damage, and plus damage is uncommon in a lot of other places. So it synergizes well with Jug and his crit and all that. But yeah, I would say nowadays like Maelstrom and Mjolnir are just so good. Like against an Illusion hero, having a Mjolnir is going to kill them real quickly because you're going to have those lightning sparks going out, and both from static shield on yourself and from the procs themselves. Battle Fury just doesn't give you what you need nowadays. Like now it's a lot of skirmishy fights, and you're not your farming rotations are not as important, or I should say flash farming is not as important as it used to be because of the decreased spawn time, or the increased spawn time rather, of the neutral camps, right? So if you're playing in a Juggernaut in previous patch, you could have that Battle Fury just be running from camp to camp to camp and taking creeps and all that. But now you do that, and then it's like, okay, well, they're gone for another minute, and I just have to go to a lane. So, like, yeah, I'd rather have a Maelstrom where I can fight and do a lot of more things early. Also, the build-up to Battle Fury is not... It doesn't work well now, given the, like, fast-paced metagame. Like, you just don't have time to like, have 4,500 gold of items that don't give you stats and are expensive, and, like, it's just, unless you're playing AM, don't do it.
I agree. And even on AM, I had a game recently with Proud and I, where it was absolutely the wrong choice for me to go Battle Fury safe lane. It was definitely a Maelstrom game because I needed to come online way quicker, and Maelstrom allows me to fight sooner, and farm at a similar rate. So, I mean, what am I missing from Battle Fury to Maelstrom? Regen for sure. But if I'm fighting, I'm usually going to fight and either die or fight and blink out when I'm low health, and then just go regen fountain or at a shrine. So it's not as important because it's not like a Perseverance keeps you alive during a fight. A Perseverance keeps you alive during laning, right? So, or just passive farming. Like that's the point of a Perseverance, not to keep me up during a battle. So anyway, next question from Mr. Blue 22. Although it's just Mr. Blue now. He is 4,033 MMR. Golf clap. Congratulations on 4K, Mr. Blue. He asks, how has my child impacted my outlook and attitude toward the game? My outlook is not changed at all. On it and attitude, I thought that, having a child and losing a lot of your recreational time because you have to be with the child, I thought that would affect my play significantly. I don't think it has. I'm not able to play as much, but when I play, I'm actually playing like at my best, in my opinion, because hey, it's my Dota time. I just drank a Red Bull. I'm feeling super good. The baby's asleep. My responsibility for that day has been taken care of. It's like I feel more like instead of just playing Dota all day and just blasting through like 12 games of Dota, my 2 games of Dota are higher quality than my 12 games of Dota. And so I feel like my outlook is actually brighter because, hey, these are my 2 games. I'm going to play my best. I want to enjoy them. I want to win. And my attitude is that of winning. And I know that being salty and being flaming and being bossy is not going to win me games. So generally, I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky, nice person in my games. So it hasn't affected anything, but honestly, since Charlie's been born, I have only climbed MMR. So good is my outlook, and attitude is also good.
That's good. That hasn't affected me, so I won't answer that question.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still able to record. Honestly, I don't think... The only show I've missed was one Proudland for the baby being born, which is the luxury of recording at home, right? Honestly, it's been easier than I thought it would be. My wife tag team it. My wife and I tag team it. She covers the day and I cover the night, and so I know that when I put the baby down, I've got 2 games of Dota, and then I need to wait about 30 to 45 minutes, and then go in, get the baby, feed him, change him, burp him, rock him to sleep, put him back to bed. It's actually helped my Dota schedule, honestly. I know when I play at the same time every night, so I don't know, better.
Yep.
I don't know. Anyway, that's going to be it for Tuesday Q&A for today. Don't forget, you can always find us at twitch.tv/.ptv. This is where you're watching Tuesday Q&A right now. If you're listening and you want to watch next week, it's Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern. This is where you can ask your questions by joining discord.gg/.p. By the way, we just hit our new goal on Patreon of $250 a month. I think we're at $257 a month. So Patreon has been going swimmingly. Our next goal is $500. Thank you so much to everybody who has been a Patreon donor. This is allowing us to do a lot of cool things for Defense of the Patients. Do expect that we've been talking about a website forever. We are finally getting to the point where we are just going to get a super badass professional one done here very soon. We're getting quotes from a bunch of places, and we have a lot of people helping us to find the proper outlets to get this done. So we know that our website is, an antique, and be very careful with her. Don't click on too many links or she'll break. But we understand that that's something that needs to get changed, and it will be changed. iTunes, leave a review, an honest review. We just got a new review today. Unfortunately, it hasn't populated. So how it works is it populates. We can see that we got the review, but we can't read it for like a day. I think iTunes has to make sure that you're not like, I don't know.
Reviewing your own show,
maybe, or something, some sort of protocol.
Yeah, person's not on any lists.
Yeah. So thank you for doing that. We've received an overwhelming amount of iTunes reviews, but this helps us with search engine optimization. This helps us with people finding the podcast. This helps us with people who want to go ahead and give it a listen, but read reviews first. And I'm one of those people. Before I buy something, I read the reviews. So it definitely helps to have what you have to say on there. YouTube /.btv1. You can see all of our games that we play on Sundays with Grumbo. It's me, Ursi, Cyphus, Proud, and Grumbo, Grouty. We play at 5 p.m. Eastern on Sundays as a team. It's fun. It's either the DotP stream team or DotP.Vipers. I like DotP stream team. I'm with you, Ursi. I think it's funny. But DotP.Vipers is inspired by me talking about Viper all the time, apparently. So,
and Grouty. Grouty
hates
He's
Viper.
very vocal.
Very vocal about it. I love Viper. Okay, so there's like some dissent there. I see. What else is there?
That's a question, isn't it? I'm at Ursinity on Twitter. Our show is at DotP_show on Twitter.
Yep.
Our Reddit r/Defense of the Patients.
Oh yeah, Jay Gooshi.
Our email.
Speaking of Goosh, yeah, Gooshi on Reddit. Check him out. He's awesome.
And our email is defenseofthepatients@gmail.com, where you can send us questions for the Tuesday show. We have a couple questions on the docket already for next week.
Yes, we do.
So we have plenty of ways to get us questions. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's it.
And Ursi, who do you think should be? So the list of callers tonight, the list of live callers was Chaos, Kruger, Mountain Man, Broken Wings, Wivrix, Motar, and Kuma Mizu. Who deserves the $20 Steam gift card?
Oh man, I thought we were gonna like roll a dice or something. I have D&D dice to my left.
Oh, do you? How many is that? 8? Is that 8? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Fuck. No such thing as a D7, dog.
Yeah, but I mean, I can roll an 8, and then we can like leave a number out.
Okay, let's leave 1 out, and then we'll start with Chaos being 2 and Kuma Mizu being 8.
Okay, I was not listening because I was trying to find the D8, but I have it in my hand. I'm gonna roll it. I'll tell you the number, and you can tell me who. You can announce it. All right, I'll push my push start to see.
Keep rolling if you roll a 1. Okay.
Okay, so just don't roll a 1. Okay. I rolled a 6.
2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Ricks. Wivrix wins $20 Steam Cash money.
Huzzah!
Wivrix,
you can be thankful for D&D.
Yeah, you can be thankful for Ursi's incredulous D8. And yes, I meant incredulous. So yeah, that's all. Wivrix, be checking your Discord for a code in which it will have digits that you type into Steam to give you money. And with all that being said, thank you all for tuning in to Tuesday Q&A. This is Roland for everyone that called in, and our expert Ursinity, and our great producer / creator Cyphus, saying, you have questions, and we have answers.